Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full.
Everybody, welcome into the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett and Randy here with you. I'm going to try to make it through 2 hours. I think I can. I apologize for everybody that's fought through this with me this week. It has been a rough one, but we're here for you as we are every Saturday. Again, a lot to talk about on the show today as we head into the week of Christmas. And, for Auburn, it's portal. For Alabama, it's a playoff win last night. A lot of different things we want to talk about. It's got some high school talk that we're going to talk. Obviously, some coaches moving around, some announcements yesterday. I guess two of the biggest names in high school football that have moved so far is Jake Gaines from Moody to Pale City. And then yesterday, Brian Moore stepping down from Opelika. I don't know that it was announced where he's headed yet. We've been told pretty much where it is that he's going. I don't know that I saw anything official from the school that he's headed to. I'll look that up to see if we can discuss that. If not, I may just say it anyway. Who cares, right? And if we're wrong, we'll just retract it. That's the way it works in this world now anyway, right? There's no integrity in journalism. You just make up whatever you want to say, and then you come back and say it. But seriously, this is the time of year where you just finished up with high school football. You got guys looking at moving or replacing. I know Rush Probst is gone from Coosa Christian because he was interim, and they reinstated their head coach back into action there at Coosa Christian. So there's some moving and shaking going on in high school too.
Well, there always is this time of year. A couple of them that you just brought up, though, are a little bit of surprise to me that they're two of them that we're talking about. I'll start with Jake Gaines, Brett. It's not that I'm overly shocked that he's leaving Moody. Moody
Right.
has turned into one of the better programs in the state. Back-to-back state championship runs, finished runner-up a couple of years ago and then win one in this year, and just great talent all over the field. A lot of players that are moving on to SEC and other schools out there. So, but, I grew up in the area with Pell City. And so
Right.
it's hard for me to get out of the thought process of what Pell City football has been.
Right.
But I'll say this for Pell City, Brett, and then I'll let you chime in, and then we'll talk about all of these. But I do want your opinion on Pell City. They seem to be one of these communities, kind of like Thompson, that have said, look, we're going after it. We're not going to be happy with playing second fiddle to some teams over in our area that are really making a move. We're willing to spend the money, whatever it takes. We're going to try to be competitive. And they did that with Rush. They had all of the, the background amenities that you need to be successful in this day and age in high school football, given to that program then, from breakfast in the morning to video work to here is all of that we're doing, and we're going to promote it out there to the communities and the bordering communities. You like it or dislike it, but
Right.
you're also
Right.
marketing in this day and age to the bordering communities because you want those kids, those families to move to your community rather than stay in the ones they're in. Again, like it, dislike it. It's almost become part of the marketing ploy for these high school programs out there. But to go out and get Jake tells you, Brett, Pell City's in it to win it. I've always appreciated that community, but it's never been a true winner in football, ever. Do I think Jake Gaines can get it there? Yeah. Well, what's to make me think he can? Moody had never.
Well, you
really
did the
been
same thing for
something.
Moody. Moody was not a winner.
That's
They
right.
weren't. But
So
yeah,
for
go.
Pell City, you and I know a lot about Pell City. We've seen a good bit of them over the years.
We have, and I think the pattern of what they've been doing lately shows that they're tired of being subpar. They're seeing communities around them, just up. Basically, if you look at Thompson and Birmingham, you look at Moody right up the road. They go, well, if they can do it, why can't we do it? And it's always, like you said, been a mystery to us about the size of the city and kind of the location and why they can't put things together. But it starts with, going after the right coach. And are you in the ball game money-wise? Here's where we are now. You're starting to talk about this in high school. You're obviously college, you go after coaches. You go after guys with good track records and good resumes, and they demand, I guess, top salaries. But then the same's going to be in high school now moving forward. With the top echelon coaches, top programs, you're going to send a message out there to the masses. Are you in this to build a football program that, again, it's not just about the results on the field, but it's about what the football program does for the rest of the school and the income that comes in to support the other sports. So I think Pell City understands that. They went after Jake Gaines. I've heard what he got paid. I think it may be, in the 160s, 170s, something like that.
Wow.
With other amenities. Now I may be wrong, but I heard that. And then with Brian Moore at Opelika, same deal. He comes back to Opelika where he has roots in Opelika, lived in Opelika for a long time. Comes from Hartselle to Opelika, has really rejuvenated their program, and then supposedly he's going to take the Foley job. And I heard that Foley threw a big number at him. So I am surprised, though, that maybe Opelika didn't want to get into a match thing, or maybe he didn't give him an opportunity. Maybe he was like, I've done all I can do here. I want to go try somewhere else. I don't know why people make the decision they make.
Well, and that one's a big shock to me. He feels like a perfect fit for Opelika, and he's had immediate success at a very difficult place to win right now. Not all the time. I mean, this is an Opelika program that you and I grew up with that I thought it didn't win state titles, but it was as good a football program as any other in the state of Alabama for the 30 years that I started watching, keeping up with high school football in this state. And his demeanor, the way he carries himself, his background with Opelika, his love of physical football and the lines of scrimmage, I thought made him a perfect fit and got him back to a state championship game. Did they win it? No, but they got there. And they won double-digit games, and they won a lot of close games that could have gone the other way, which tells you when you win those games, Brett, like the one you and I called the first game of the year,
right,
you're coaching them up, man. When you win a bunch of games by 3 or 4 points, you are doing a tremendous job of coaching, because the team across the way is just as good as you are, but you're finding a way to win those football games. And see, they did it against Auburn to make it to the championship game, so did you see that one coming? And first off, I'll speak for Brett here. We think the world of Brian Moore. Wherever he ends up, I hope he ends up on his feet. I like the way he carries himself. I like the things that he says, how he builds culture in the program. I can't say enough good things about him, but I didn't see it coming from him or for that Opelika football.
Well,
program.
I thought he was a guy that went home and was like, this is my dream job. I mean, I really felt like he'd been at Hartselle. He'd done a great job there. And he comes back to Opelika and really had this thing like in a region where everybody's like, well, Opelika is going to struggle to make the playoffs every year, because and that's a good analysis, because that is a brutal region with Enterprise and Phoenix City and Dothan and Auburn, and just keep going. And
Carver.
Yeah, I mean, just a very tough region. And then when you look at it and you go, maybe he's like, I'm going to head down south and try it somewhere else. It was a very if I'd have had all the schools in the state laid out in front of me, and you go, all right, which one is going to have their coach resign this week? I'm not sure. Opelika could have been close to dead last on my list out of all the high schools in the state, because that's how firmly I felt like Opelika was with Brian Moore and Brian Moore with Opelika.
I couldn't say it better. So was a little bit of a shock, but I'm in sticker shock with some of the numbers I'm hearing coming out there. Do I question their worth? No. Did I know it was coming? Yes. But I think we're right in the middle of it right now. I think you're in the middle of, you either get in the game at the right price and retain coaches at the right price, or decide the path that you want to go at a 60% rate. Because I don't think anybody's going to go below that number. But can you find the right fit that loves your community and wants to raise a family or something at a rate that's still a very high rate? It's still a six-figure rate. Anybody that thinks that the top 30 high school coaches in the state aren't getting six figures with perks, you're not paying any attention. And it could be a lot higher number than that, but that is the going rate. And so you have to have it, and you can tell from all programs out there when you've got the right guy in charge, especially in today's game. I want to let me make one more. I know we've got to go to break, but I keep saying in this transient society that we live in,
right,
they're going to migrate to the coaches they want to migrate to.
No doubt.
And if you don't have one of them, you're going to get what your community is able to raise. And that's a difficult ask from year to year in today's world. Now, was it a difficult thing to ask 30 years ago when you and I were coming through? No, because everybody else is doing the same. But now when you end up in the quarterfinals and you're matched up with a team from the South, and that team from the South, you already know for 20 years has been pulling the top 2 or 3 players from this school over here and the top 2 or 3 from there. And they've got all of these things going on in grade school where they know and spotlight those kids and know exactly which ones they want. That's now been going on for 2 decades. Bro.
Right.
So it's not like this just all open. This is the biggest fight I have with a lot of people that like to throw shade on the way that things are going nowadays. A lot of times it comes from areas that have been doing it for a lot longer than the rest of us. That's the reality of it. And those are the ones that are usually the loudest.
Well, the ones that have been doing it and they've been getting away with it, I guess, so to say, if you want to say it that way, when others start playing the game, they don't like it.
Hey, and I'll say this. I thought about this past week because we got a good friend down in South Alabama, Rick Cleveland, that does games with us. And Brett and I argued with Rick that there is no comparison to public and private, and the public side of things is not able to go out there and recruit the way that private was. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we had a good back and forth with Rick on that. Well, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years later that Rick was right, because he saw it going on down there, and he was dead on. The private schools, yes, they have the opportunity to go out there and pick them a quarterback, pick them a linebacker, find them in the 4th or 5th grade, develop them, but they got to make all the pieces around them kind of fit with what they're doing. Well, the public schools, what Rick said, and he's become, they're doing the same.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids are bouncing all over the place. And so I know we can get into that public and private discussion, Brett, and we probably should. Right. Because it's one of the top discussions out there in high school sports right now. And I don't have the answer of what's coming down, nor do you. But we're more than willing to talk about it a little bit with the understanding that this is not an easy decision to be made by anybody.
Well, and it goes deeper than just the players coming in and whatever. If you got a big-time coach that's right, and you have a program in a school system that you have made it a point to show that this is important, and it does so many more things for the school. When you're successful, you're going to pay because of the ripple effect it has on everything else. And we'll dive into that more when we come back. We're going to take a break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Forbes Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
Craving pizza done right? Come to Lake Martin Pizza, where flavor meets the lake, with 2 locations, 63 South in Alexander City and Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Grab a 14 or 18-inch specialty pizza or build your own masterpiece. Go half and half your way. In a hurry, stop in for our lunch specials. Hot, fresh pizza by the slice, served daily. We've got more than just pizza. Try our fresh salads, cheesy breadsticks, garlic knots, and sweet cinnamon twists. Lake days, game nights, or family dinners, Lake Martin Pizza hits the spot every time.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Here at Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, we value what truly makes a home. And that's why we're proud to offer America's #1 brand of siding and exterior products. James Hardie creates possibilities with an array of colors and textures. We offer the full line of James Hardie products, from Hardie plank to artisan siding and everything in between, giving you, our customer, options to have the best. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, local since 1984.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Again, apologies for my voice. If you can bear through it, I appreciate it. If not, I understand. Okay, I get it. If you go, man, I ain't listening to that. I totally get it. But this is the only option you get this morning. So it's either that or you can get Randy for the entire.
I think you sound like a lot of people out there. Trust me.
Yeah,
I mean, I have felt that way all week, and I don't think you and I are the only two with the way this weather is, Brett.
Well, it sucks. And, you know, when you do this every single day for it's going to hit you. I've been fortunate for 2 years not to really be sick with a sinus thing. And as much as I'm in front of a computer, in front of a camera, to not have had a problem to this point, it's been fortunate, but it's caught me this week for sure. Yeah, I did, Trey. I was up screaming for Alabama so hard last night, I lost my voice. Anybody that knows that knows that's not how it went away for sure. And we'll talk about that game a little bit later on. Looking at the top coaches in the state of Alabama, and when you start in this, when you look at it and you see the top programs, obviously you look at Mark Freeman and Thompson first, and then you look at Patrick Nix at Phoenix City, because you look at the 7A classification and you go, okay, those two programs have kind of separated themselves from everybody else. Now, Keith Etheridge is a great coach too, and he's at Auburn. Obviously, Brian Moore is up there. I'm starting with 7A first, and we'll work our way down.
Coach Floyd, you at Trustful.
Well, Josh Floyd's up there. Josh Floyd hasn't been able to get to a state title game. Every one of those I just mentioned have.
Oh, yeah.
But that just tells you Hewitt's in a place just like that region in East Alabama. The Birmingham region's equally as difficult, and you can have a great football team and not even make the playoffs. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and, he's been a consistent winner. He's put a ton of players in the SEC and others. You've got to look at it a number of different ways, Brett. He's built a program with facilities that can compete at that level. He beats those teams consistently. It doesn't mean he beats them more than they beat him, but if you beat them at all, Brett, I mean, if you're Hewitt and you beat Hoover 1 out of every 3 years, and I know that doesn't – I'm not saying that that's the way that it is, but they do beat those programs and compete with them consistently and have great players coming through and still have great players coming through soon too. So, yeah, he's a wonderful coach. I mean, if you wanted to see what his value would be, put him on the open market. That's the way you have to look at all these coaches, Brett. What's their value on the open market? Kind of goes back to mine and your conversation on Nick Saban over the years. I said for a long time we have no clue what the market is for college coaches because Nick Saban has not shown us. If he would have said, man, I'm just going to look around a little bit and see what the top bidder will bring to me. I said it when he was making $6 million that it was probably 12, because if he had Texas offer 12, Alabama would have matched. So there was no telling what the number was. Well, you go to your point right there with the high school coaches, Brett. You want to see what the market is. Let the top 4 or 5 of these guys get on the market and see what somebody's willing to pay to get them there. And there are programs, and, we hope we didn't speak ahead of schedule right there, but when you bring up one like Foley that JJ knows a ton about.
Right. I
mean, Brett, the tax basis, the part of the state that you're in, the growth potential in that part of the state, I think they're getting prepared for my father-in-law told me this, but I think that Baldwin County area is getting prepared for another 50,000 heads in schools over the next 10 years. And it's because of industry growth and migration to the South and all of those things that are going on. Well, where are they going? Where are they going?
Right.
Well, some will go in new schools like Saraland and Spanish Fort and keep going down the list of the new schools that you and I have seen pop up. But some are going to make some that have been around a long time actually competitive. Mary G. Montgomery, Baker. These are schools in the last 3 or 4 years that Brett and I never talked about competing. Now every year we're talking. Does it mean they win championships? No, but man, they are winning a lot of ball games in every sport and getting really good quickly in all these sports. Well, Foley's sitting there in the same boat, Brett. They're 6-8 miles up the road in a really, really tourism-rich area. And they've got our good friend Don Staley was highly involved in getting that Foley tourism set up. And they've got those fields, and they've got all of the youth sports around, and they've got the water parks and all of the. I mean, Foley is set to be a mecca. They are Thompson in the southern part of the state. I truly believe that.
They've been an untapped oil well.
Agreed.
I mean, seriously, it's like you got to go out there and find it. But once you find it, it's a gusher. And, we've always kind of bypassed that down there. They've been an afterthought. Really, the only person of note to talk about through Foley's been, Julio.
Julio
Jones.
Everybody ever talks about. It's Julio Jones. Julio Jones. You talk about Foley, it's them. You never talk about a consistent winner.
No.
Because they haven't been.
Well, that's Barry Thompson. I mean, all those. But seriously, that's
it.
where. That's it. Just a smattering of a few guys that you talked about. But, look at Stuart Floyd at Clay Chalkville and look at Kurt Johnson at Ben Russell. And we'll stop there because we got to get the break. Come back. I want to talk about those two guys. I don't know that there's 2 better coaches in the state.
Get Alabama, Mississippi, and North-South, too, up there. We haven't really had a chance.
We'll definitely talk about that. I want to continue to talk about these top guys in the state. And I'm just going to say nobody's won more than Kurt Johnson has in the last 4 years. And nobody's won more championships than what Stuart Floyd and what he's done at Clay Chalkville is crazy. And so you want to look at a program that's on everybody's radar. They've beaten Thompson 3 years in a row. I mean, how can you not say Clay Chalkville's not the best program in the state of Alabama? I mean, hard to argue.
I can make that argument.
From a power ranking standpoint, it's hard to say that they're not. They've beaten the top dog in 7A 3 years in a row. So I don't know what else you can say to be a driving nail into a point than that one right there. So, all right, we're going to take another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Lake Martin now has a global connection for the best in pre-owned vehicles. The all-new Global Auto Exchange is now open on Cherokee Road in Alex City next to Cazador's Restaurant and is excited to serve Lake Martin with the finest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV selection at the market's most competitive prices and most versatile finance options. Global Auto handpicks all their inventory, and with 4 lots in the region, they have a selection that won't be beat. Whether pre-owned luxury to affordable work truck, Global Auto has the vehicle for you. We reward good credit and can work with challenge credit to get you the ride you want. Visit the all-new Global Auto on Cherokee Road, Alex City for the best selection, pricing, and inventory.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindawa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air for their support. Been with us for a long time. Couldn't do the show without them. Again, as all new people tune in, I'll say it every segment. I apologize. Look, it's your only option this morning. If it sounds like crap, then it is probably, and I don't blame you for tuning out. But anyway, looking at the top coaches paid in the state and the top, I guess, by performance. And I was just talking about 2 in 6A and Stuart Floyd and Kurt Johnson. Kurt Johnson had won 2 state championships in a row at Montgomery Catholic, 1 in 4A, 1 in 5A. They beat that Moody team last year. That was coached by Jake Gaines, who won the 5A this year. But we knew they were knocking on the door. And then Kurt comes to Alex City and takes a program and goes 12-2 and goes to the semifinals the first year in 6A. And again, good coaches with good players, a good staff. All of these coaches have the same pedigree and the same philosophy. Surround themselves with great coaches, let them coach, but know without a doubt they're the leader in the room, and it's their say at the end of the day. And that's why all of these coaches that we're talking about this morning are very successful, and they've won blue maps and are highly sought after because they know what it takes to put a championship program on the field. And schools in this state that want to compete at the highest level want to go after some of these guys. They want, and if you're Foley, you look at Brian Moore and you go, I want that guy because he went to Opelika in one of the hardest regions in the state and was able to put them not just competitive, made them the top program over there when everybody was saying, oh, you're barely going to make the playoffs. You're going to struggle. You're always going to be fighting for that fourth spot. Brian Moore said, no, not while I'm here. And they took them to a state. Now, I know they got the doors blown off. Thompson was head and shoulders above pretty much everybody else, but they did get there. And so now you got teams like and schools like Foley that have never done much of anything that go, we're tired of losing. And we need to go get a leader that can come turn our program around. Jake Gaines, we just talked about it. Same thing with Pell City. They like, if he can take Moody and spin them around, then, hey, why can't he come over here to Pell City where we're willing to do whatever we need to do, resources-wise or whatever? Why can't he turn our program around? That's the mentality.
It has to be. And it's an arms race out there, Brett. From a facility standpoint, you've seen more facilities in this state really than anybody else. You're the one that comes back and says, Randy, you wouldn't believe what Winfield's got. And I bring them up, but you wouldn't believe what Piedmont's got. And those are 2 winning programs year in and year out in every sport. And you've got to be that program in your neck of the woods that people gravitate to. It's not the day and age of Mill Village area like we were, where your kids grow up multi-generational in the community and you raise them up from the first grade through and you build a product based off of knowing that family or the descendants of that family are all going to end up back in that community, and you're going to try to build a product out of that. I mean, those days are so far gone. The idea that they're coming back is just, it's actually comical. Like I work in the EDA world. You do too, don't you? I mean, I don't work. I certainly give a lot of my time. We work for free.com. Brett, Justin Clayton, and I own the rights to that site, but I have given an awful lot of my time in the state and in our local community trying to figure that out. And if you got to be way smarter than me to figure out how you're going to find an industry to offset, say, an 8,000 employee manufacturing community like Ellick City had with Russell Corporation. Can you offset it with a number of different companies? Yeah, maybe, but I mean, those days are over. So Brett, people are coming out of your school, and the Braden Pritchards of the world, they may come back to Ellick City. They might. But Braden's got a great degree, and he's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to give some of it to his daddy, I hope, at some point in time, because his daddy and mama deserve some of it. But my point is, if he's going to go hit his peak, it may not be in Ellick City. And there are a lot of kids that are coming out of, and it ain't just ours. It's a lot of communities out there that were good old southern mill villages, Sylacauga, Alabama, Opelika, Alabama with Pepperell, Alexander City. Keep going down the list. Bruton, Alabama. I can name off Fort Payne, Alabama. I can name off so many textile villages that were built up that they're not there anymore. So it's a very transient society that we live in, and the one that a lot of the people are hoping you come back to, that it doesn't exist. It's not going to ever exist again. And the point you're making, let's take those 2 guys. People going to gravitate to those 2 coaches. You mark my word. If Brian makes it down to Foley, a lot of players that have been gravitating to 2 wonderful coaches. It's been multiples.
Hey, I want to bring up a point. I'm not going to mention, of course, not going to mention any names. And everything you just said, me and you just received a text. Okay. On a post on Twitter about a kid transferring.
Yeah.
And somebody had a snide comment to make about that post and saying, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, and they live in a community that happens to be, okay, what you just said. What are you going to do to attract somebody there? What's going to be the reason somebody goes? Well, 99, like, take your head out of the sand and go, they want to go play for that guy. All right? They want to play for that coach because he's a winner. And you can sit over there and be bitter all you want to be. And you can say whatever you want to say about whatever. But the reality is that what you just mentioned is the God's truth. And those that decide, if I've got a child and I want them to play under that coach, they're going to go do it, man. There ain't a thing you can do about that. Nothing. And if you do it right and you move, well, so what's the problem? But you got people that just continue to sit over there. And look, I'm not saying that I'm for everything that goes on.
I don't think that you're 1,000% behind any of this. I
hate college football the way it is right now.
Oh, you despise it. I know it.
But here's the deal. You can either decide to do things the way things have to be done now, and you can say whatever you want to say, or you can live in the Stone Age. That's it. I just, if you refuse to change and you want to still drive around a car that's got square wheels, then drive it.
I'll finish it around the community you and I grew up in. You know, we had if you're out attracting white collar positions, let's put it that way, or you are attracting a head football coach to kind of bring your program out of the depths of mediocrity, which Steve Savarese did for Alex City. Well, how do you do that? You send Russell Corporation over there to attract him. You and I know the story, and anybody else that knows about how he was able to be pulled out of Inslee is exactly how that worked. And you got all of the amenities that go with it. Well, these communities don't have that. They don't have that arm as much as they once did, Brett, that does all of the we'd like you to come here to this community and be a part of this community, and you could help our athletic programs, but you could also help the community. We don't have the industry to attract to them. So you've got to do different things to attract. And that's I'll applaud you and Jay Reyes and so many in Alex City for the decisions they've made, because you've got to have a school, facilities, things like that are attractive to others out there. And you can say, well, there's a lot more important things we can be spending our money on. Well, you're not hearing anything that we're saying here this morning. And you're not watching the way that this thing's being played out around the state. If you say that, you don't see it. And your kids in your community are hopefully going to benefit from that. I'm not saying that there's not some tough things that come down the line with the decision to go in that direction. Sure there is. There's a lot of, I've got a very good friend of mine that's son, I'm not going to say the name, but grew up in that Thompson community. Great athlete. Dad played college ball all the way through.
Right.
Gets to the point where it's his turn to play, and you got 6 or 8 move-ins for the baseball program that year. Well, man, that's where there's a sticky wicket, and I hear them loud and clear. But at the end of the day, that 6 or 8 that are being brought in probably are going to make them competitive on the statewide scene, because the ones they're having to compete with are doing the same. It is a wild, wild world out there that we're living in.
There's a raw end of the stick on everything.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
I hate to be that way, but
hey, Charles Barkley said it perfectly this week, Brett. He could pull up, if you didn't watch what Charles said on the NIL world, you need to. He said the 1% screwing it up for the 99%. But the 1% now, the genie's out of the bottle. So you got to go figure out how to play for that 1%. But the 99%, and the ones that Charles was really speaking to, was women's athletics and college sports. Man, they're in trouble. They're in deep, deep trouble of losing a lot of scholarships. And I keep saying, and I know we got to go to break, but how all of this works out with Title IX is beyond me. I cannot get my common sense head around how you can spend the amount of money on men's athletics that are being spent through the university system and not do the same for the female side of it.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose. We've already had this discussion. You're going to lose all these Olympic sports, which are the training beds for the U.S. Olympic teams. And not just on the women's side, but on the men's side, because you're not going to have the funding to keep those programs up anymore, because the schools are going to shift their funds in other directions. And that's a national discussion and doesn't get talked about at all anymore, though. It's like
it doesn't. It's
an afterthought. So I don't know. I don't even know where to begin there. All right, we're up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
With football here, Martin's at Lake Martin is ready with the lake's best place for sports, fun, and entertainment, with your favorite teams on over 20 big screens. And Martin's is now open 7 days a week. Monday, trivia night. Tuesday, open cornhole tournaments. Wednesday, free pool. Thursday, our huge bingo night with food trucks. And every Friday and Saturday, live entertainment with food trucks. Sunday, enjoy NFL ticket with hot dogs and chili. This football season, make the best game plan. Go to Martin's on 34 in Dadeville, where every hour is happy hour.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands, from drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Or have you been there in the last couple of years?
It's been a minute. Let me get back for TV. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Talking about facilities at Pell City. Like I haven't been in their facilities in a long time. I'm sure they're upgrading. It looked like when I saw a video of Jake Gaines walking into an indoor facility. I don't know to what level it is, but I have been in Oxford's, and I don't know that there is a better indoor practice facility, maybe in the SEC, than Oxford. I'm not kidding, man. That's how. But again, and I know Oxford didn't have the best year this year, but Sam Adams and Oxford High School, and they made it a priority for a long time ago. in Oxford to be good in football. And they've had some great football teams that have made deep runs and competed for state championships and won state championships.
Keith Etheridge won one in 19, not long ago.
That's right. So, that's you can go through this state and you can pinpoint the communities that have been bought in and saying, hey, we want to be considered a destination place, and we want to be considered a program that when you talk about the top programs of the state, you're going to bring up our name. And you got schools like Foley and Pell City and all these other ones, and Moody before. Guess what? I had somebody tell me this week that Moody's game day environment was second to none. And you and I went up there several years ago, and that was dead as stale bread. Ben Russell just ran them out. I think it was a blowout at halftime. And you and I were like, man, this is pitiful. Like, that's the same that Thompson used to be viewed. People used to use them. They were the doormat of that region. They used to be everybody's homecoming game. But you get the right player, the right coach in there, and he builds up a culture, and you get players to come in, whether you want to sit here and complain about it or not, and you say, we can win just like Hoover won, or we can win just like so-and-so won. And they do that, and then they go, okay. And so Pell City and Foley and these other programs that are watching all these other schools go, well, we can do all that too because we got this stuff. And so they're sticking their foot in the water now because they're tired of going 2-8 or 3-7 every single year. We say this all the time. I can't imagine. We've been blessed with Ben Russell, and they've had down years for sure. But there's been more up years than down. Can you imagine? Again, it's not a cut against anybody. But can you imagine every Friday going out there knowing before the ball is kicked off that you're going to try to keep it within 4 to 5 touchdowns?
I wouldn't want to do games with you, and Brett would tell you.
I just don't know how you can anybody in the school can get any enjoyment out of that, man.
Oh, it's difficult, man. And hey, in communities like ours, it's an ever we have to ride this roller coaster constantly. Now, if you were from an enrollment standpoint always at the top, I don't know that you've got a lot of excuses there. But man, I have grown up in a community and played ball in a community where I don't know what, I mean, the powers that be have put us in a position where we stay on the bottom side of enrollment numbers and classifications my entire life. And then there's people out there, first off, I'm going to say they're exceptionally ignorant people out there that go, why didn't y'all get over the hump? Why didn't you win? What hell? I mean, why don't you come check out the ones that we lost out to? Why don't you go pull their enrollment and compare it? I'm not saying that that's the only reason. You can overcome that from time to time. We were, but still, and this will forever be until they maybe change what's coming down the line right now that we'll talk about in a little bit. But until they change this, forevermore, we were the smallest school in the state of Alabama to play for the largest classification state championship in 1997.
That's right.
It can't be beat. Now that it's 7A, it can be beat. I mean, so we were playing against 2,200 student schools, and we were at 700. So like you can't ever beat that one. And so my point was though that for those of you that complain about 7A, 6A, 5A enrollment and things like that,
I don't think anybody has a bigger complaint than Ben Russell over time.
Oh, I completely agree. So agree.
And to have the success Benjamin Russell's had over the last 30 years, 40 years, with a flash in the pan of jumping down to 5A one time and then jumping back up to 6A. I mean, it's been always 6A, man. Always had to survive as one of the smallest teams. And I don't know that you can go find a school in any classification that has lived in the bottom of their classification that has a better winning percentage than Benjamin Russell.
I think you'd be hard pressed to do it.
And then if you flipped it and had Ben Russell in the top of 5A for the last 30 years, I'm just saying. Well, I don't know how many championships you'd have.
And I use this example a lot, but for those of you that get upset with the transient society that we live in. I like to use the Danny Horn example in Ellick City over and over. When Danny Horn comes to your community in the first 2 years he's there, he goes 1-9. You have hit a level of pitifulness that I can't even come up with an adjective to describe it. And that's where we were. And I called all those games with Brett, and it was a very difficult ask. We had some good kids coming through, but, you know, the thing that really flipped that, he brought a son with him. And he put a son at quarterback. And he won 11 games one year and 12 the next. Did we win a championship? No, but we got things back going in the right direction. So you take away that move in, hell, we might have created one, but we weren't in a state of the program. So my point is, you got to kind of know that, though. And the decisions that you make are around those type of decisions, not just who's the right fit. I mean, it's who's the right fit. What can he bring with him?
What did Coach
How can
Story
he go
do
out
at
there and
Lynette?
Huh?
What did Coach Story do at Lynette?
Oh gosh, yeah, he had. Hey, what's Phillip Rivers going to do at St. Michael? He's got a dozen of them about to come through. They're going to win from now until the end of time, as long as the Rivers is back there at quarterback, and they'll probably win when those times aren't around, because the program is going to be expected to win, and it's going to be one that you want to play for. So all the coaching's important too, but those peripheral decisions that are made around those coaches are very important also.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, we're going to get to break. Stay tuned. One final segment here in the first hour right after this.
It's here. Glenn Smith's closing out the year. Get massive savings on GMC Sierras and Terrains. New full-size GMC Sierras almost $15,000 off. New GMC Terrain Elevations as low as $289 per month. Or take advantage of 0% financing plus no payments until April of next year. Now is the time for end-of-year savings at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Two Rivers Lumber Company has a proud heritage in the state of Alabama and is excited to announce we are opening a new facility in the Lake Martin area late 2025. Our company specializes in southern yellow pine dimension lumber, and we plan to employ over 150 in our new community of Lake Martin. Two Rivers Lumber Company is a family-run business with over 45 years of service to the state. And we are happy to become a part of the Lake Martin community and want to wish the best of luck to all area athletic teams in all competitions. Two Rivers Lumber, Lake Martin's newest community partner, coming soon.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
What makes Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadilla so giant? Crispy fingers, sauce, and melty cheese. Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
10
that
seconds.
can happen. And then Pell City, it just seems like there's too many good coaches that have been through there. Somebody's going to figure that
Just
out.
going to hit it. All right, we're back on the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Last segment, very short segment here in the first hour. It's been a great discussion pretty much about the state of high school football here in Alabama and the top coaches. We just named probably 10 that are just phenomenal, and they've done great wherever they've been. And, that's what most everybody in this state, because football is king in the South, and you look at the way things are done in college and it's trickled down to high school, these high school programs want to be top. And if they haven't been and they're looking around and seeing the programs that are, they want to figure out how to do it. And they want to figure out how to be that way, because when you have a good – and if Dr. Reyes was on this show with us this morning, he'd tell you, and any principal in this state, and I've talked to many – they go, the morale around here in our school in the fall is at an all-time high, because when your football team's winning and you got success, it just breeds more positivity for everything else. Everybody's walking around with a pot. When you're getting beat down, man, everybody's like, we got to go do that on Friday. It's just, and that's just like anybody waking up going to a job they hate. If you wake up and get like a job is a job is a job. But if you at least like what you do, it's not as painful, man. But you wake up in the morning knowing you go into a place you hate, like you're like, how am I going to get through the next 8 hours of my life and get in the car and get back to this house? If you're thinking about things that way every day, it makes things miserable on everybody around you. The same goes with the morale in the schools when you have a good program versus when you don't. And it's a fact, man. It's a fact.
Brett, can you give, I know we got about 4 or 5 minutes here. Can you give a couple of minutes spill on the discussions that are going on, not specifics, but just the discussions that are going on with the public-private school situation right now with the HSA?
It boils down to two elements. It comes down to the multiplier, and it comes down to the competitive balance. And, I'm not privy to the detailed conversations, but, just from hearing what we've been told, they're talking about, hey, they want the multiplier to go away or whatever. And like, I understand the competitive balance even for public. I'm not saying it needs to be done, but, if you're a public school that's rattled off 4 or 5 state championships in a row, I mean, why aren't you getting bumped? I get that argument from them. Okay. Mm-hmm. The multiplier, I think, has to stay. And I know the argument for the private's like, well, their public schools are going out and getting their players too. We just talked about that for an hour.
Yep.
And I hear that too. But the crazy thing is all of those schools left AISA to go to AHSA for competition. And I've had headmasters and coaches tell me that out of their own mouth face to face. We're making the move because we're trying to get better competition. And it's not a cut against AISA. It just happened to be that schools started gravitating over, and they wanted to challenge their student athletes more competition wise. Well, now the ironic thing is if this thing falls apart, everybody's going to go back to AI. It's like, then you're going back to exactly why you left. You're going to be right back to playing each other, and you're not going to have, maybe as strong a competition pool. It's why you left to begin with. It's crazy. That's why the reclassification got, delayed to January the 23rd versus us already knowing that. We would have had a show last week talking about the new reclassification if it hadn't obviously been for some of these points that they have not been able to hash out yet with the private schools.
And if they separate, would they come back down to just like 6 classifications? What's the talk?
It's a good question. It's a good question. How many? I'd have to look. There's 32 teams in 7A. How many are private schools? I mean, only one
Not
I'm
many.
Only one
I
I'm
can only
thinking
think of one.
McGill.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. I would think that.
Well, but the problem is you're going to take so many schools away from 6A to 1A that, unless you just don't have as many teams in each of those
I just don't think you just have as many teams. I just think that you go from, let's just say the number, there's the last look I had at 6A was 58. And let's say, I don't know how many privates are in 6A. Let's just say there's 10. So instead of 58 teams in 6A, you have 48 or whatever. Now, okay, with taking them out, the pool's going to be different. So
those 32 would be 6A teams. And then let's say the next 16 teams to make 48. The top 6A currently would then be 6A still, but they would be the bottom 16 rather than the top 16.
That's correct.
I wonder if that's the direction it would end up going. I really don't see this happening. I don't think anybody wants to take those private schools away. I don't think at
the end of the day they really want to leave. I just think they've got to get in there and figure out what everybody feels like is fair for the whole gamut.
The argument that makes sense is the multiplier. If I stuck my head in the sand and didn't know that all of the teams that they're competing against weren't recruiting players into their, you can call it a different word, but there's moving players in and out of those public schools. If I didn't know that was happening, then I wouldn't say that. But you take Mobile, I know it's happening. It's not kind of happening. It's happening at a big, big scale. And you send another great coach down south to Foley, they're going to migrate to him too. So they're going to start getting kids that are 12 miles up the road that want to move into that community and be a part of that program. That's about to happen even more. And you add a lot more heads in school systems down there. They're going to migrate to the winning programs with the best coaches. So
right.
I get it. And I can see where a lot of the fight comes from there. The competitive balance, I don't get that. And it's not just football. You got to keep in mind all of the other sports. The best one I like to use is soccer because I know soccer better than the others. I mean, Montgomery Academy's girls and boys soccer team doesn't need to be playing anywhere other than 7A soccer. You put them in 3A, they'd win 100 state championships in a row. It's the truth. They just won the boys in 7A this year. They beat Oak Mountain that hadn't lost in a couple of years. That's how good Montgomery Academy's boys are. And their girls, they've won so much there in 7A too. I do think they lost in the semis to Auburn High School, but it was like a 2-1. I mean, it's not. I mean, they're going to beat them.
Look at the vast difference in size of schools. I mean,
but when you are at a private school like that in a sport where I've got to get 6 to 8 girls every year that are great, and you're in the city of Montgomery, and you're running club ball like we play the Montgomery Academy girls club ball team right now. I already know who they are. I've known them for 3 years with my daughter, and she's 10 years old. I can point them out. I already know who we're going to compete against 7 or 8 years from now. You put those set of girls in a 3A program, I mean, they're going to they're going to destroy everybody. And it's what they did. And so I don't know the argument for competitive balance. Like I really like Bayside's volleyball team doesn't need to play in 3A. Rick Cleveland, and Lord love you, Rick, but if Rick Cleveland was coaching your tennis program at UMS Wright, he don't need to be playing in 3 and 4. He's going to beat your brains in every year.
Yeah. And in fairness, again, you want to win a championship, but at some point in time, it's about competition. You're like, if you know all you got to do is roll the ball out there to win it, that's okay. That's the reason I would concede the multiplier before I would the competitive balance. I would concede the multiplier. I'd say, look, I get it. It is happening. We're a transient society now. People are moving all over the place. You're looking down at huddle accounts, and they've got 30 different kids that were at a different school last year that's at a different one this year. Brett and I did a state championship game 2 years ago where they had 34 different huddle accounts from the year before. You got to stick your head in the sand. And their best player came from right across the city.
Yeah. So I mean,
they had 10 best players, but the best player, who happened to be the number one player in the state,
and that's
came
34,
from another school the year before.
That's 34 in football. It only takes 3 or 4 in basketball.
Oh,
it only
man.
takes 3 or 4 in soccer. It only takes 3 or 4 in baseball and softball.
Right.
If you don't think that's happening, then you are not watching championship. Like probably one of the best. I won't say the name of the school, but there's a Northern Alabama baseball community that you're gonna find your way to.
Oh man, ain't no doubt.
You're probably gonna find your way to them when you're in the 4th or 5th grade. When you're pretty confident my kid's about to be special, I'm gonna find my way to that community.
Right.
And they've won about, a dozen state championships in the last 25, 30 years. I mean, they're going to keep winning them because that's how good that program is. If I was up there, trust me, you can get mad at me all you want. I'm going to find a way, if my kid's that talented, to get in that school. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, we are against the top of the hour break. We come back hour number 2 right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Glory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings. Come on, get on board. Glory's Furniture saves you more. We try harder in every way, so drive a little and save today. Glory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open, located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all: Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We've got about 50 minutes on the show today. Again, for all of you tuning in just now, I apologize for sounding like I've been smoking Marlboro Reds for 30 years, but getting through this week, hopefully on the other side, it'll be a lot better. So appreciate all of you fighting through it with me. All right. Luke did his part going to the concession stand when they got down 17-0. Yeah, let's talk about this game, playoff game last night. Just bizarre. Oklahoma getting out to about as good a start at home in a playoff game as you possibly can get off to. And then, Alabama puts together one drive. So they did settle down and put together one drive to kind of slow the bleeding a little bit. And then, Oklahoma misses a great opportunity to go up 24-7. There's a wide open pass. And the guy just dropped the dang thing. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. And then, so it opened the door for Alabama to come down. I think the punt, I think maybe the next play or whatever, the punter just dropped the dang ball. And he picked it up and they blocked it. They went down, kicked a field goal. So make it 17-10. And then right before half, I don't know that did he forget that they were at home wearing red? I know the uniforms are very similar, but I think John Mateer looked over and go, oh, we're on the road in Tuscaloosa again. I'm throwing to that guy. He threw it right to him and returned it for a touchdown, and they tied the game going into halftime. And I think everybody knew at that point what the verdict was going to be. I said Oklahoma wouldn't even score again, and I was close to being right. They did score one more time, but I told everybody we were with last night, so they won't score again. I said, that's it. Email it in. And hell, you just know, you just feel the way these things go. I'm just telling you.
Well, what a turnaround for Alabama. Let's start.
A turnaround for Alabama down 17-0, a team that refuses and cannot run the football.
That's right.
It's not part of their game.
Just continue to find ways to win football games. And, that's the state of a good program. Look, when you're not having your best year and you keep winning and moving on and giving yourself a chance, I go back to I guess that was that final year for Nick Saban, Brett. I mean, they were a play away from possibly winning a national championship that year, and I thought they were on the down. But Alabama's got the program that pulls this off. Ty Simpson was great last night. You give him back the drops that he had in that football game. Alabama had some wonderful catches to go along with it in some big moments of the football game. But Lord have mercy, Ryan Williams, where is he gone?
Did you see? I had somebody bring this up. Kid don't know how to catch the football.
Oh, he doesn't. And he wasn't the only one.
Everything is into his body, or that pass he dropped. There's no excuse. He should have had his hands out away from his body, catching that football like you're taught. He's up there trying to catch the ball like this. It bounces off. Like there's something that's off with him. Big time.
It's very odd. Seeing him in high school to see where he is now is a shock to the system. I never, and because you're seeing so many others being developed, it's not like you're not watching the other receivers that are in the room with some of the younger guys.
He's just not even a factor on that offense. He's not a factor.
But the wide receivers, the ones that didn't maybe have the Ryan Williams lore coming out of high school, but if you're at Alabama, you're highly sought after, are all turning the corner and becoming great players. But back to my point on the drops, I mean, you look at Ty Simpson's stats, you give him back 10 or 12 drops that they had in the ball game, they're unbelievable numbers. And he was getting pressure on him the moment the ball was snapped. That's how good a game Ty Simpson, they were on him.
Right.
From sacks to him having to move around in the pocket and get to the third and fourth receiver down the field, Brett, I'll say I was really impressed with him. And then defensively, Alabama got it together. About midway through that first half, moving into the second half, physically they matched Oklahoma. Oklahoma no longer able to use that quarterback run that they hit so often there in the first half for big plays. Alabama fixed that. And then back in the secondary making big plays. And then who would have figured that Alabama's kicking game would have been a better special team than we saw for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma's faltered there in the second half, and it was part of the reason that cost them the game. But more than anything, I think it's just.
And I know the last time Alabama made the mistakes in the special teams and the pick six, and it beat them. Well, it was the role reversal for Oklahoma. It was the drop punt block for a field goal and then it was the pick six and the drop pass. It was 3 key plays where Oklahoma could have really run that thing up, and they didn't take advantage of it, and they allowed Alabama to hang around, and Alabama made some plays and got themselves back in the game. And then when they got it back to even, they had taken the crowd out of the game. And now you had deflated Oklahoma because they were going from a mental standpoint, well, we were up 17-0, it's tied. And so Alabama had the momentum. And even with all that said, Oklahoma had 3 chances at the end of the game, and Kidd misses 2 field goals. If you make either one of those, Alabama can't run the ball to run the clock out, so they did end up punting. But Oklahoma couldn't get the one score to force an opportunity to at least tie the game. So, hey, look, they get it done, so they move on. It's just odd when you look at their stat line and you see a team that ran for 28 yards and only threw for 230 to score 34 points. But their defense basically scored 10 points for them last night.
Well, and I think that
teams.
The point I'm making is that 230 is deceptive on how good Ty Simpson played last night. The receivers, they killed him. And Ryan Williams being one of them, but he was not. This
is not some star-studded group of wide receivers. And, the thing that we talk about before the season, Alabama and Auburn would have thought you'd have had maybe a couple of guys on all SEC, all whatever teams, and you didn't have any on either squad because there has not been a good year.
Well, and I'll go back to the comment that I made in the first hour. When you win a lot of close football games and you find ways to win, you've got a winning culture. And Auburn fans, you can be mad at me all you want, but every Auburn fan and every college football fan knew when Alabama got that thing back to even, they were going to win that football game.
We've seen this too many times, man.
And you can say that it's luck. You can say whatever the hell you want to come up with as an excuse on why your program's not up to that standard. You got to figure it out. And for whatever reason, the mojo's away from our beloved Auburn program. And until you get that type of mojo back, because they're not like you watch Alabama play. I've watched them play in the past where you go, man, they're so much better than us or anybody that they're playing.
Has there ever been roses more than this? And Justin just made the mention. The damn Lou Groza Award winner. He missed 2 field goals at the end of the game. One goes over one is so controversial you can't tell if he missed it or not. Like when he kicked it, even Chris Fowler said, well, that, he made it. And then he was like, oh no. I mean, it's like, and I know the rule when it goes over the top and has to be all the way in it's just, I heard so many explanations last night. I don't think they even knew, but it was like literally the one thing that's about most impossible thing to tell when you look up and you go, I can't tell if it was good or not. Of course they go, oh, it's no good. And so the second one was short by a yard or 2, and they made the right call to go ahead and kick it because they were trying to conserve as much time so they could try an onside kick and go down and possibly try to score a touchdown to tie the game. But that thing, the side angle of that kick, that ball hit a wind tunnel. That thing was on target, and it went straight down. It's like, well, roses, Justin. I need nothing else you can say.
Justin's got a comment there. Ryan Williams getting an NIL raise after this year. Look, Alabama fans chime in. I think there's going to be a parting of the ways there. I can't imagine that the writing's not on the wall here. And he may end up having an unbelievable 220 yard. I don't see it, though. He's not on the field on a lot of major
he
calls.
Is not a non-factor in this offense. He's not an option. He had 1 catch for 5 yards yesterday.
I know it. And he was a non-factor against Auburn. Wasn't on the field a lot of that game.
He hardly even played in the game.
I'm shocked, but I bet he ends up in the portal. And the problem with him is when you turn the film on, you've got to it's kind of like Perry Thompson at Auburn. You've got to really think that you saw something before that they're not pulling out of him. Because
I mean, what part of Ryan Williams and what part of Alabama says next year is going to be any better?
It should, but the problem for Ryan Williams is the other three receivers around him are all getting better week in and week out.
Well, I said before the season started, and I told Luke, I said, there's without a doubt who y'all's best receiver is Jeremy Bernard. I'm like, there is no question. And I saw it, even the flashy stuff that Ryan Williams did last year. Jeremy Bernard was always your go-to man when you needed to play. And he obviously was that guy again this year. And the only difference is Ryan Williams, instead of taking that next step to become more involved, he regressed and became a non-factor, which I think has shocked everybody as far as.
And I want to go to Glenn's comment here because we talk about this a lot on Friday.
Hey, let me get the break because we're way behind. Come back. We'll keep these going. We'll talk about the comments in the break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City. Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We've got about 30 minutes left in the show today. We've got to pick up another break here in just a very short amount of time. So this will be a short segment on TV. We apologize for that. We got a little bit behind, but going back to some of these comments, Randy.
Well, I was asking about the offensive line and the question marks around their physicality.
There should be no excuse for Alabama to not be able to run the ball.
I can't imagine that they're not a 4.5 average 5-star on the offensive line and almost all 5 stars at running back for Alabama. Yeah, I mean, I don't even keep up with recruiting, but I bet I'm right by that. I bet.
And all we heard was Jam Miller.
Which is wild to think that if you're going out there and picking up 2 of the best backs every year, you and I just know Crowell, but they're getting the Crowell of every class almost.
Right.
Year in and year out. And for them not to have someone that I saw the craziest Alabama football stat. And by the way, I said this during the break, but I'm going to say it now that we're back on TV. I'm not knocking Alabama. I mean, Alabama's got a chance to still win a national championship.
Right.
I mean, but you have to compare and contrast where the program's been to where it is right now. Alabama has had 1 running back this year go over 100 yards rushing. If I'd have told you at any point in time in my life, I would have told you that, you'd said, yeah, that's a joke. That's a total. Or either they're terrible. They're like Freddie Millen's year terrible.
Oh, yeah,
that's the only chance that you're going to have to come up with. Or Spencer Pennington's your quarterback and you're playing Auburn pitiful. I mean, you're going to have to be at the depths of your program.
Jim Miller had 7 carries for 11 yards last night.
Well, he had 23 or 28 yards rushing last night.
28 total for the team, but Daniel Hill had 43 yards. Daniel Hill had 9 carries for 43 yards, and 1 run was for 30.
Gotcha.
So the other 8 averaged about a buck. So, I mean, it just there is no running, which makes this even more intriguing. And yeah, like Justin, not look, I know everybody holds on everything, but I can't believe that shot where you talking about Captain Hook. Like you can't hook somebody more in open field than Proctor Hook Mason. It was the biggest clothesline of the century, and we didn't see that. But anyway, let's get to break here on the show, and we'll come back. We'll continue to talk about the rest of the playoffs as we move into today. I got a game coming up here in about 2 hours. Texas A&M Miami. Why that game's kicking off at 11, I don't know. But
NFL
anyway,
going up against NFL.
Well, I do. Yeah, I know, but it's just wild that a game like that. I would have flipped that one and put Oregon, James Madison. And
no, but here's the reason they didn't flip that is they would rather not go against the NFL this morning.
Right.
And let that turd bucket go against the NFL this afternoon.
Yeah, because it's going to be a turd.
Nobody going to watch that.
You're right. Good.
So
yes,
put
good
that
point.
up against the NFL.
Good point. All right, take a break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have 0 risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and 0-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer. L&M Pawn and Gun, located in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, is East Alabama and West Georgia's complete gun, tactical, and pawn shop. It invites the region to shop over 500 firearms in stock, on the floor, and ready for sale at the market's best values. At L&M Pawn and Gun, we specialize in all tactical guns, equipment, and parts, including AK-47 and AR-15s. Specialized parts for tactical guns as well as suppressors and other parts you can't find anywhere. L&M Pawn and Gun has it all in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, or shop online, lmpawnandgun.com.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. For any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Look at that, man.
I'm questioning my decision if I'm
28 yards, man. Hey, SEC championship game, -3 yards, right?
There's no excuse for it.
All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Like, that is truly, we've been kidding around about this for a couple weeks, but that, I didn't even, you and I have not seen, gone back and seen the actual rank. Like, how in hell are you that terrible at running the football? With that running back room. Now look, well, take Auburn. Take me and you out of this thing being Auburn. We're being objective here. Like, take the name Alabama away. If you just took those numbers and said, there's going to be a team in the playoffs that's got the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 13 ranked running backs in their classes coming out. They're all in the same room. And they're running the ball. They just played in a championship game, had -3. Now, look, if we want to bring up somebody's been banged up and all this kind of, you ought to be interchanging guys out of that room. Somebody going down that's been injured, there shouldn't be a massive drop-off. Who's the running backs coach at Alabama? I'm serious, man.
Because to continue to get winning football out of that is crazy.
That is a joke.
It is.
Kudos to Alabama. I'm giving them credit that they can win and do the things they've done with the production on the running game. Like, I don't even know how Luke could spin this one.
No, he doesn't spin it. He argues it just as much as anybody. And yes, he may point to Miller, and that is semi-part of it. But that's to say, if you had Auburn's running back room in 2000 or 99, I could understand. Like, yo, gosh, you got one back there, and then you got a bunch of 155-pound running backs that you're going to try to throw in there to get some production.
Robert Gillespie's the running back coach at Alabama. That's what I just looked up.
I think when I watch, Brett, the offensive line is so out of sorts in the running game,
right,
that it's more. I'm not saying that the backs don't deserve a lot of the fingers being pointed at them, but I think and y'all tell me, I don't watch Alabama like Alabama fans.
We don't cover Alabama and ain't going to, but
their offensive line play just does not look up to the standard that you would expect. And I bet anything, if Justin went and pulled the 5 starting linemen for Alabama on that offensive line, I bet there's not a single one of them that dropped below the number 10 ranked lineman at their position in their class coming out of high school. I bet every one of them were wanted by everyone.
Chris is talking about, he's an Alabama fan. He's saying, man, I'm disgusted. He's like, I can jump around back and forth all night. Chris Kapilovic, is that right? That's the offensive line coach
for
Alabama.
Yeah.
Been at Michigan State, Colorado, North Carolina. He's known for his focus on technique and communication. Well, it ain't communicating on the ground.
No.
Houston, we got a problem on the ground. And it's been fine.
And Ty Simpson is playing so. When you take that into consideration, that you can't scare anyone at all with the running game, and he's playing as well as he is, Brett.
And he knows they're pinning their ears back coming.
And he's, you know, he had 230 yards passing last night, but I said it a couple of segments ago. He deserved well over 300 with his play last night. If you just don't drop half of the ones that Alabama dropped, he has over 300 yards passing and a great completion percentage, and they're barreling down his neck all night. I mean,
well, I mean, like I said, I'll preface it. Oklahoma got the benefit the first time around of the special teams and the pick six.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, Alabama was the benefactor of the pick six and the special teams. And that was the difference in the game, because if you look at it, you take those plays away, man, it is tied. And,
yep,
but it counts. And
sure
so
does.
if you look and go, how does a team that can't run the ball and only threw for 228 score 34 points? That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
No, I agree. And it's like, if I'm an Alabama fan, I'm not happy with the production I'm getting, but I'm probably happier about the product that I'm getting from a winning standpoint more this year than, I mean, you're still in it. You play in Indiana. Any common sense person out there knows that this team's nowhere near to the level that they've been in the past. But buddy, they still got a chance. I mean, Auburn would die to be in this position. Just one time.
And like, I'll go back to the Georgia game, and you look at Alabama from that standpoint. They had -3 rushing yards in that game, 212 through the air. Georgia dominated. Georgia figured out a way to minimize and create havoc for Ty Simpson more than Oklahoma did last night. I know Oklahoma got after him in the first half, but then they made some adjustments. Alabama made some adjustments and got better.
Got the ball out of his hand really quick.
Right.
In the second half.
But Georgia, it again is the blueprint and for this game plan that you need to have against Alabama is like, look, they absolutely cannot run the football, but we got to come up with blitz packages and things from different places to disrupt Ty Simpson. He only threw a little over 200 yards in that game. And Alabama was unable. I don't know what their third down conversion rate was, but it was terrible. They couldn't sustain drives. So, again, I know Indiana's very, very good defensively. Like, that is their bread and butter. So we'll see. I think Justin put that they came out already as a 6.5-point favorite. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. That game will be in the Rose Bowl, by the way. All right, let's take another break. Stay tuned. More to come here on the show right after this.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have zero risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Burger. I'll let you keep talking.
Well, I said during the break that, first off, happy birthday to Andy this week. And Andy does a great job from time to time. We'll bring up a topic. Brett and I will bring up a topic on the show, and he'll go back and remember that topic and do actual study on, are we telling the truth or not?
Yeah,
much.
right.
And then he'll come back and he'll throw numbers at me and Brett and make us sound like we know what we're talking about. And the one that we always like to go back to is, I think it was Gus Malzahn's next to last recruiting class. He finished 10th. And so what was the difference between the 10th ranked class and the first ranked class? Because you're pretty happy as an Auburn fan to be the 10th ranked class.
There's no doubt.
I think Alabama had 23 or 24 players in the top 300 that year, and Auburn had 8. So the difference between the first-ranked class and the 10th-ranked class was they got 3 times as many top-tier talent. So when I bring up the running back position, Alabama doesn't sign guys outside of the top 10 in their class and run. Yeah. They don't sign them. And I was wondering about the offensive line, and here they are. Michael Carroll's the number 1 interior offensive lineman coming out of high school. Proctor was the number 1 overall offensive lineman. Brailsford's freshman All-American at Washington. Formby was the number 7 offensive tackle in the country coming out of high school, and Dewberry was the number 4 interior offensive lineman. They don't have a single offensive lineman that was outside of the top 10 in their class coming out of high school. Heck, they don't have one that's outside of the top 7 in their class. And then Brett just ran down the running backs. I mean, the 5 or 6 running backs they have, all of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 13 in the country.
In the country, you are doing you're just not doing enough with what you're being given. Is the point we're making?
Nobody knows how to do that more than Auburn. I can tell you that.
Amen.
Well, we'll take an orange and figure out how not to squeeze any juice out of it.
But I tell you what, though, we're not dealing with these type of players. You can spin it however you want. We're not dealing with these type of players.
No, you're right. I mean, that is a gross underachievement. So, all right, we got to get to another break. Stay tuned. A couple segments left on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open. Located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area. And they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all. Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Russell Medical Total Fitness is ready. Are you? Do you have arthritis? They can help. Pilates are for everyone. Ask them about the Silver Sneakers program. Get moving in a class now, or if you prefer, personal training on land and water are available. They have invested in new equipment for you. Invest in yourself with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff. Call today, 256-329-7623.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes.
Happy birthday to us all.
Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes.
Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Sports Countdown. I'm even tired of hearing myself talk. I'm glad there's only.
Oh, you've done good.
But it sucks. Dude.
I've been doing this with you a long time, and
it sounds like crap.
Once or twice a year, you're going to have the weather like this, but you're fighting through it. And the good thing is, Brett, and I'm trying to make you feel better. You're not sick. You don't.
I'm not.
You don't feel bad.
Sick. Yeah.
I've had years in the past where I've dealt with you, and you were sick to go along.
I don't know how I pulled it off that year in Tuscaloosa. Do you remember how sick I was?
Oh, yeah.
And the stuff I was coughing up. I thought I was dying.
I don't know how I didn't get sick with you.
Whatever, like you want to say COVID times 10 is what I felt like I had. But
so here's the SEC rushing rankings. You asked for it, Justin gave.
There it is.
Alabama's next to last in the conference.
Who's last? Us.
LSU.
I see it now. LSU 16.
Shocking. I mean, and LSU. Okay, Alabama is a top 1, 2, or 3 ranked recruiting class every year. LSU's like 4 through 6. So, and the 4 through 6 get twice as many blue chip guys as the 10 through 15 does, whereas the 1, 2, 3 gets 3 times as many blue chips. My point is, they don't have an excuse either.
No.
So they're averaging a little over 100, Justin, because they probably have a couple of cupcake games where they have really solid numbers. But Alabama, in the last 2 football games they played, they haven't rushed the football for 30 yards combined.
It's the most like literally last night when we were all watching the game, as soon as they went, there was a series toward the end of the game where Alabama ran it 2 consecutive plays and lost yards. I'm like, and with the game still in doubt, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, all of a sudden you decided to run the football now, and you went backwards twice, and then you're like, well, it's 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. Hell, this drive's over. They're gonna have to punt. It's like they just conceded, and I think that everybody was questioning, like, what are they doing right here? And so again, they somehow are surviving. And, Justin, that number for Auburn should have been much higher. They're 7th, but Jeremiah Cobb not being a 1,000-yard rusher is almost comical. He had 906 yards with 2 games left. With Mercer and Alabama left, still didn't get there. And then there were games like Texas A&M, he had 4 carries. Like, shit, I don't even understand how Hugh Freeze screwed up. And I know he wasn't there the last 2 games, but how he misused him in the first part of the season is even more baffling than how terrible Alabama's running game is.
No, I'm not going there because
with all the 5-star, like the lack of using him.
I agree with
not using him.
I agree with
is
that.
Unbelievable, man.
The talent level at Alabama in the positions that you need to be able to run the football is mind-numbing. And it's not – now, I know that they got a new head coach, but to lose the culture of physicality the way – and they haven't lost it on defense. Alabama's still a very, very competitive team physically on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're giving up, 17 points a game. I mean, that's a pretty good number in today's day and age.
It is.
And that defensive group, physically stood up, especially starting in the second half. And Mateer wasn't going to do anything with his legs against that Alabama team in the second half after the adjustments they made. But no, it's crazy. But Alabama's still in it, and maybe they fix it. But I don't see it being fixed this year. I don't think that running game, nor do I think Ryan Williams is going to become a main key of this offense.
I would not be surprised if Ryan Williams didn't get in the portal as soon as the season was over.
And I think Alabama would applaud it.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but I really think that this is going to be a mutual decision. No.
It's just not a factor. All right, today, Miami, Texas A&M up first at 11, Tulane, Ole Miss at 2:30, and James Madison, Oregon tonight at 6:30. We got about 6 minutes left in the show. Miami, Texas A&M first.
I would like to think Texas A&M will get back to playing the brand of football that we saw with them midway through the season.
I can't get South Carolina game out of my mind. I know they came back and won, but good God.
But the culture of that program's in the position that we're sitting in right now. It's in better shape than all.
Yeah, it is.
But it's still, though, as Brett, a program that you think they're going to stump their toe at some point.
Yep.
So I think they're a much better football team than Miami. I think they're going to win the football game. But if you told me that Carson Beck and that team got it going offensively and were able to move the football against Texas A&M today and won the ball game, I wouldn't be surprised there. But I would favor, if I was a betting man, I would favor Texas A&M today.
Yep, at home. I agree. Tulane, Ole Miss. Chris said Ole Miss by 14. I think that, maybe more.
Oh, I think more.
It was that way the first time.
Yeah, I think that pieces are still in place. Offensive philosophy still in place. Maybe somebody different calling the plays. Maybe a little bit different overall thought process without laying around, but still the same team. And that team's been as good as any in the SEC this year. I would hate to see them lose a chance to keep moving on because of turmoil that's going on outside of their own doing. I'm talking about the players. So I would go 3 touchdowns, if not more, against Tulane for Ole Miss today.
And then James Madison and Oregon. I mean, any chance at all this is competitive?
I can't see how. I mean,
what? Who wants this moving forward? I mean, seriously, this is not a cut on James Madison, but if I'm Tulane, James Madison, let's go have our own 12-team playoff. I'd watch it. I mean, and then have a legit chance of winning. Now, if they shock everybody and beat Oregon and move on, congratulations. Again, I just don't know that this is what everybody was looking for.
I don't know why you don't turn the.
They beat Georgia State 14-7, Randy. I mean,
I don't know why you don't change these bottom half bowl games. Why wouldn't you change them into a Troy State and Jacksonville State?
How good was that? How good was that?
Wonderful game. But let them move on. And let Tulane and James Madison and other teams like that are not in that Power 5, in that Power 4, let them go and play, and let the bowl games be part of the playoff process that goes along with those Division I teams that are just a little step below. I think
you just look at they just did not play anybody, man. I mean, the only team they played of note really was Louisville, and Louisville beat them 28-14. And then again, they beat Troy 31-14, and that was their last game in the Sun Belt Championship. I mean, I just do not have any business playing Oregon, and I hate Notre Dame too, But are you kidding me? You would rather not see Notre Dame, Oregon, or you would rather not see Vanderbilt, Oregon tonight?
Vandy and Oregon would be.
Oh my God!
Massive.
Oh
Massive.
my Lord!
With Pavia out there playing in that one and the offenses that we've seen, it'd be a great game and all the hoopla around. You can like or dislike Pavia, but the camera's following. It's like Johnny Manziel. I don't like the way that either of them carried themselves in and around that Heisman Trophy, but at the end of the day,
right, the
cameras find their way to them, and there's always a storyline to tell from a media standpoint.
Right. Well, see, that's the problem, Justin. Is that I agree. I hear what you're saying, but the problem was that they wrote the plan for the playoffs wrong to start. Yeah. They shouldn't have put them in there. They shouldn't have a chance to be in there. I mean, when you write the rules,
I think they need their own playoff system.
They do.
Believe it. And
they absolutely do.
I think the crowds would be good, way better than they are if one of our teams
redo the top 12. If there's 5 teams from a conference, Randy, then so be it. Should you be penalized because you're you're a 10-2 team in the SEC, and you're like, well, we just can't keep putting all these. If that's the year you've had 5 or 6 that deserve to go, the whole goal is to get the top 12 teams, the best 12. This is not the best 12. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you, and I think that the ratings are important, and I think they'll fix it.
They'll have to.
I think they'll be so bad tonight that they'll go back in and discuss that. And I've said this over and over again. If I were a Jack State or a Troy State that doesn't have a chance to play for a championship when you start the year, why are you starting the year?
I agree.
The UABs under Bill Clark that would have been good playoff contending teams in outside of a Power 4. That's why you're doing this. Give them a chance.
I agree, man.
And the crowd was wonderful for the Troy and Jack State.
And that's the first time they played since 2001. All right, let me say this before we get off. Fix that, Troy and Jacksonville State.
Yes.
Why are those 2 teams not playing every year in some kind of rivalry game? That is beyond me. Makes no sense why those 2 teams aren't playing each other. So, all right, let me get off for TV and we'll wrap up for social media. We appreciate everybody each and every day. Sorry about my voice this week. Hopefully Monday it'll be back to normal. And if not, I'm just going to rip it out myself. Okay. But we appreciate all of you for watching and listening every single day. We will be back with you for more Saturday Sports Countdown next weekend. We hope all of you have a wonderful Christmas, a great week. Be safe out there if you're traveling, wherever it is that you go. We do appreciate all of you so very much here on the show, and we'll see you next time.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAV Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/HeartRussell.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.